How many seconds do we have in terms of attention span for our online users today?
I would say maybe 2 to 3 seconds at the most.
Yeah.
Oftentimes it's split seconds, right?
At the most 3 to 5 seconds. If your website's not loading within 3 to 5 seconds, pack it in because you're not going to succeed online. Welcome, everybody. This is episode 2 of the Digital Marketing Made Simple podcast. This is the podcast for everybody that wants to start out in digital marketing, either for their business or their career. So just as a reminder, if you're not sure where to start with episode 1. We start right at the foundation. Today you find yourself on episode 2. I'm your host, Rob Pacinelli, and you're joined with my co-host here.
I'm Falk, also a digital marketing expert of about half a decade. Rob's got about 5 times more experience than me, but I hope that maybe I'll be able to add a little bit in some questions.
He's being very modest.
I'll help with my ignorance. I'll help with the questions, yeah.
That's funny. Falk is an extremely brilliant individual, so he's being very modest when he says that. But yeah, let's get into this. So last episode, we talked about the website hierarchy of needs. This is where we explained everything in terms of priority. Basically, you need a website first before you do anything online. Then you need it to be reliable. You need to connect that with some internet marketing tactics. And then it just goes forward and forward from there. So that gives you a really good guideline of where you should start. Quick example is you don't want to start paying for Facebook ads without making sure you have an actual working error-free website, right? So this is a great place to start if you're not sure where to start. And today we're going to talk about the base level. It's called the functional level. This is basically the foundation of your website, the foundation of your website presence. And just like any home, you need to make sure you have a strong foundation, or else once you start building the walls, the roof, you don't want it to crumble. So let's make sure you have a solid foundation to your website presence. And this is what we're going to talk about today. Falk, how does that sound to you?
Sounds great to me, Rob. I think we both have plenty of stories of our agency life where we had clients that were trying to do social media or ads and they didn't have a functional website. They thought they did, but actually there's lots of stuff missing there. So it's definitely an important topic to talk about.
Absolutely. The first thing we're going to talk about, what do we need to actually exist online? How many things do you think we need to exist actually online, Falk?
The one thing I could think about was we need a website address, right? And
that's more referred to as a domain name, right? So absolutely, that's the first thing. You need a domain name, a www.abc.com as an example, right? Your first thing is you need a domain name. I'm going to give you a hint. There's 2 other critical things that you need. You need a website and the website file, so that's the third thing, but what's the second thing? Where do the website files exist on?
Yeah, you need a place to host your website.
You got it. Yeah. See how brilliant this gentleman is?
Uh-huh.
So basically, the 3 things you need to exist online are simple. You need a domain name, you need a web host account, and you need an actual website. And that is basically the website files that create your website. Does that make sense, everybody? Pretty simple, straightforward, right?
Yeah, so where do we get those? And, who do we go to?
Amazing question, and this leads us to the next part. So, through my experience, I'm going to give you 2 options here. So, a lot of people want to start out without getting committed financially. So, if you want to start out and get a domain name and get web hosting and your actual website for free, there are options available today, and really good options. I'm going to give you 2 of them. So, let's say you went to WordPress.com. An amazing opportunity for anybody that can create a website with just their time. So go to WordPress.com. You'll be able to get a domain name for free. It's going to actually be a subdomain. So I'll give you a great example. If your website was, you wouldn't actually have your own official domain name, but it's a subdomain. So it would be abc.wordpress.com as an example if it's available. So you literally, it acts just the same as a real domain name. So this is how they do it for free. And basically you can create your own website presence, Get your own domain, get your own hosting, and your own website, all for free at WordPress.com. Another great option, not my go-to, but Wix. Wix is a very popular option, easy to put together a website. There are some challenges, there are some limitations, obviously, but if you're looking for a free option to exist online, there's two of them right there. So today you have no excuse not to exist online. WordPress.com, Wix.com, two free options. Now let's go to some paid options, folk. Any ideas where we're going to go to the paid option?
I know that there's other offers like Squarespace, for example. Would that be one?
Squarespace is also a good option. My go-to options, and again, I'm trying to simplify it, but Squarespace is also good. I would refer to GoDaddy and HostGator, both because they have options starting from $5 a month. So from $5 a month, this is all you need to commit.
It's a coffee.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes not even a coffee, depending where you go, right? So GoDaddy.com, you can get your domain names there. You can buy web hosting services there, get WordPress packages, and even other stuff that you can add on like SEO, etc., etc. So going to GoDaddy is a great place to start. They got amazing support, amazing, support documents. But long story short, you can exist online with your own custom domain name. So this won't actually be a subdomain, like I told you about the WordPress option. This is actually your own free domain name for $5 a month, your own web hosting account, and your own website files. And it actually comes with a website builder too, so it'll help you to build a simple website very efficiently.
So Rob, I've had clients before that built websites, I believe on GoDaddy or HostGator, and then a year later they wanted to switch to a more professional provider, and they weren't able to get their website. They weren't able to get their code.
Correct.
Right? Because GoDaddy owned that. So how can we avoid that? And
I would imagine in the future they will have some sort of an export option, but that's a great point you make, Falk. There are limitations with these options, and at $5 a month you really can't expect the world. So don't expect to be able to export your websites from any of these options, whether you go with GoDaddy, whether you go with HostGator. They both have options that they cover the same domain, hosting, website for less than $5 a month. But when it comes time to expand, to scale up, and let's say you want to switch hosting providers, or you want to move your website to a digital agency and have them develop it for you and market it for you, etc., you won't be able to do that. So that is a limitation that you're going to face. Who knows what the future will hold? They possibly will add some export options, but right now that's a limitation you can expect. But I think that's a good problem to face, because if you're getting to the point where you need to make that shift, you're obviously growing, you're obviously progressing in your business, and you understand the need for a more professional website presence. So it is a good problem to face.
yeah, right. You've made the decision that you want to update and that you want to go more modern, right, with your site.
Exactly. And realistically, the content of the website is really what you need. So you can literally copy and paste it onto a new website platform, etc. I don't think there's any real need to take the actual website files. It could easily be created on a more professional presence or platforms, excuse me. So yeah, I think it's a good place to start for a free option or $5 a month. Those are great places to start. And obviously, if the budget allows for it, definitely go with a better option. But these are great starting points for anybody out there across the globe. So now we have your website. You exist online. You have a domain name. You have a web host account. You have your website, probably about 5 pages. You got a home page. You got an About Us page. Maybe you have a services page or a product page. Maybe you have an FAQ page and a contact page. These are standard pages across all websites. A really good foundation for any business or any purpose that you want to create a website for. My next one is to make sure it's secure. Make sure it's stable. So we want to make sure your website has an SSL certificate. Very common today. Usually with the paid options on GoDaddy and HostGator, it will be included. And even with the free options on Wix and WordPress, they should also be included. I'm not sure. I haven't used the free options in many years right now. So I would imagine it's part of the package. But if not, you want to make that investment. So basically, SSL certificates are usually purchased per year, starting at around $30, $40 a year. And if you're paying anything more than $40, $50, $60 a year, in my opinion, you're getting ripped off, because there's a lot of SSL certificate providers out there charging $100, $200 a year, and I believe it's completely unnecessary. So, yeah, go with a good choice when it comes to your SSL certificate. Usually your web host will provide it for you from around $30, $40, $50 a year. But after the security, load time. Falk hit the nail right on the head there. Load time is so important.
Yeah, especially for mobile, right?
You got it. And we talked about this so many times before, right? How many seconds do we have in terms of attention span for our online users today?
I would say maybe 2 to 3 seconds at the most.
Yeah.
Oftentimes it's split seconds, right?
At the most 3 to 5 seconds. If your website's not loading within 3 to 5 seconds, pack it in, because you're not going to succeed online.
No, it's going to be driving so much traffic away from your website, right? It's going to show people that you're not on top of your website, that you're not on top of the performance and everything, and it's just going to cast a bad light on your business.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
So in terms of performance and ranking in Google, page load speed is so important.
Yeah.
And
that's an important point that you just made, right? I think a lot of people aren't aware of this, because a lot of people still think that ranking high on Google means content exclusively, for example, or link building, but page load times is so important now as well.
Absolutely. How do we test our page load speeds? Is there any free tool out there? What do you think?
There's definitely free tools for that.
You got
100%,
it.
Yeah.
I would definitely refer to the Google Page Speed tool. It's a free tool that they do offer, and especially since it's a Google tool, this is what you want to use, and it will give you results for your desktop load speed and also mobile load speed. These two are often different, because the actual website that will load on a mobile browser is a simplified version of the desktop version usually. So definitely you need to test both the desktop load times and the mobile load times. And just go to Google, type in Google Page Speed, and I'm sure it's going to be the first link that pops up. Free tool, pop in your URL, your domain name there, and in about 10-15 seconds you'll have the report. It'll give you a score, usually out of 100, each for your desktop and your mobile page load speed times, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
A little bit of a tongue twister there.
Yeah, Google has great tools like that. I remember from years ago I was using the responsive tool for Google, where you can pop in your website, your URL, and it'll tell you how responsive it is.
Yeah.
So Google offers great choices like that.
And if you want an alternative choice, maybe you don't want to use the Google Page Speed tool, go to thebestmedia.com. We offer an alternative, also free, and you'll find that by clicking on our free website audit link. Ours is a little bit more comprehensive, but definitely, the Google Page Speed tool is awesome. Feel free to use our free website audit tool. It will get into a few other elements of auditing your website and so on. So yeah, check it out. Let me know your feedback. I'd love to hear what you think about it. The next thing is make sure that your website is spam free, because who hates anything more than spam?
Yeah.
I guess that's one of the drawbacks of going with the free options that we talked about before. When you go with the free options, they're going to make money off you some way. So they're usually going to show ads off your free website. And honestly, nobody wants to see that. So definitely go for a paid option so that you don't have ads being shown. But if you don't have any other choice, you don't have a budget, you have a free option available for you.
Yeah. Maybe on spam we can also mention chat tools, phone tools that come up, right? These can help, for example, when you come to a website and a little chat box pops up and there's a nice picture of a chat rep who could help you, right? So these tools are great and they work, but we don't want to overload our page with excessive pop-ups and spamming our users with calls to action, all of that. that are aggressively popping into the user experience, right? We want to make sure that we keep that on the down low.
Awesome. Well said. The last point I wanted to make here, guys, it's got to be error-free. There's got to be no broken links. There's got to be, everything's got to work, obviously. If someone clicks on your FAQ page and it doesn't load, they're going to have a poor user experience and they're gone to your competitor.
Yeah. Reminds me of this trim and molding company that we were doing business with, or currently are doing business with. We went to their website, and we were discussing some website changes, and we're going to their gallery, and they have a 404 link in their gallery where they're posting all of their pictures of their great work that they're doing with their coffered ceilings and their wainscoting and all of that, right? So there's a perfect example where, it's a website where you're showing off your work and you're getting an error link. I mean,
and this client was not even aware of it.
Yeah, he was so surprised and shocked. He was shocked.
Just imagine how many potential clients he lost by sending them to his gallery page because he thinks it's working. He thinks it's showing his product, his skills, his craftsmanship. Well, but it's not. People are going there. Majority of them are having a bad user experience because they see this 404 error, and they're probably not going to trust that potential business, and they're going to move on to the competition. So this is what happens. We got to make sure it's error-free. I have my own strategy for making sure it's error-free. Falk, how would you make sure your website, if you had one, for your business, is always working and error-free? What would you do?
Yeah, so this is some great best practices really from project management to share here. We have to go on every single page and click every single link. That's a really important one, right? So no matter where you are on your website, you have to really meticulously go and click every single link, even if you already clicked them on other services pages. That's a great way to quality control your website.
Well said. Basically manual testing is where it comes down to. So before launch, you test every link on your website. Make sure you're happy with the user experience. Make sure every page loads fast, and then double check it.
Yeah, really, exactly. Do it again.
Yeah, and then do it again, and then frequently always check. I've learned to literally do my own manual checks within about 15-20 seconds. I'll go across multiple pages quickly, clicking through, making sure everything is working, and I don't always check 100% of the links, but I'll check a lot of the pages and make sure majority of the most parts are working well. So that's my suggestion to you. Do manual testing and then test it again, and make sure you're doing that frequently.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. Yes. So, and lastly, my last point regarding the testing is there are tools available online as well that will do this automatically for you. They will notify you of any broken links if they ever come up and so on. So these are usually paid tools. And then there's also, again, our free website audit tool on thebestmedia.com will identify any broken links, any slow loading pages on your website, and then even additional things like missing title tags, meta tags, etc., other things that will affect the performance of your website. So it's a great idea to use these tools. Thebestmedia.com, click on our free website audit link, and you'll see for yourself.
Yeah. One point that I wanted to bring up for sure for the testing is the inquiry forms, right? The forms that customers fill in. Rob, I know you must have had so many clients, because I've had so many clients who had advertising campaigns running for them and they weren't receiving the leads. So the leads were being generated, but they were sending either to some email address that was never checked, or they were not even sending. And a half a year after these campaigns got started by a different agency or some freelancer, we come in and we notice, wow, these have never been delivered even, right? So that's a huge one. You have to make sure to test your lead forms, fill in all of the information, and make sure that it gets delivered to your inbox.
I don't think there can be any greater sin than what Falk just described. Yeah. Can you imagine pouring money, investing into marketing for your business, and basically you might as well take those dollars and burn them or throw them directly in the trash? Because and actually what you're doing is you're creating a terrible user experience, and you're paying for that. Mm-hmm. And we all know that everybody will talk about their bad experiences a lot more than their good experiences. So when they click on one of your ads, visit your website, and something's not working, they will spread that, that word of mouth will grow rapid, and that's the last thing you want to do. So there's, make sure your paid advertising campaigns are all working. Everything is tested, like Falk said. Make sure your forums are often, frequently checked, and if needed, use some automated tools, some paid tools to make sure that they're always getting checked daily.
Yeah, that's a lot on the fundamental functional base of a website, right?
Yeah.
And I think we've really pulled it together here, right? If the functional part isn't working, there's no way that your social media can work. There's no way that your PPC can work. There's no way that your sales process is going to work, right? So all of those creative things are great, but we have to have that really strong foundation of our building.
You got it. I hope we were able to deliver you a great picture of how to create this foundation online for your digital marketing strategy. So whether you are doing this for your career, whether you're doing this for your business, this is where you need to start. Make sure your foundation is solid. And today we talked about the functional level, and next time, episode 3, we're going to go a little bit higher up on the pyramid, on the website hierarchy of needs. And we're going to talk about the reliable and maybe even the understood phase. I think we're going to group those two together. So stay tuned for more action next time. Falk, what do you think? Anything else to add?
No, I think that's great. Let's wrap it up here.
Okay, guys. Thanks for listening. Please share, promote us on social media, share us, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and give us feedback. Let us know what you like, what you don't like about this show. And, with your feedback, we're able to make every episode better and better. So please give us your feedback. Love to hear from you. See you next time. Take it easy.
See you later, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.